heck up. Welcome to the 3-year anniversary special of the Universe of Magic podcast. We are 3 years in on this little venture, and we were ironically talking Club 33 up
Woo!
next.
That actually works out well.
All right. Welcome to the Universe of Magic podcast. My name is John. I'm one of your hosts, and we don't have the traditional individual cam setup. We're trying a new setup here, but I'm joined by the lovely Alyssa and my good friend Jeff. So, man, we're 3 years in on this. I think 3 years ago, around this time, we were starting our first episode. Our first episode was audio only because I didn't really know what the heck I was doing editing wise. I still don't know, but we roll with it.
It's definitely evolved over the years.
It's evolved. I mean, we're better at what we do. Yeah, guys, we got
congratulations to you two on 3 years. I didn't come in till later. You guys are the two OGs.
I mean, Alyssa's put up with a lot of my shenanigans over the years, so thank you. So there was some news at Disney parks this week. And before we go any further, we're going to add the thing right there. But for all your Disney theme park, Orlando, dream park, we do cruises, we do everything. momentsofmagictravel.com. Get your free no obligation quote for anything. And I think we're going to have Leslie on to talk about how you could possibly become a travel agent in the near future if we can ever pin her down. So shout out to Leslie, our wonderful owner. We love you. Thank you for humoring me a couple years ago when I said, hey, I want to do a podcast. And here we are.
Here we are.
So that being said, a couple news items dropped this week. Which one do you guys want to do first?
I'm gonna go over all these promos that they dropped because they're going big for the summer, which if you guys don't know, summer used to be the big time. I feel like everyone went, but in recent years, it's really kind of declined attendance wise. I feel like summer now has become a perfect time to go for that reason. It's lower attendance and they always have amazing deals. So this is now called Cool Kids Summer. And so They are amplifying the entertainment offerings and discounts if you have kids that you want to bring to the Walt Disney World Resort this summer. So starting with kid tickets are half off. So, which can I tell you, I'm just a tad upset that it's not 2 weeks earlier because I could have saved almost $200 by taking my 4-year-old, because that's huge savings for these kids.
Yeah.
If you have 3 kids, holy smokes, that is so much.
Yeah, I have been nothing but inundated with these ticket orders. I don't know what you guys the last 3 or 4 days. So
it's so good. And while you can't combine it in a package with a discounted hotel, you can do your tickets separately, get the discount, and get a discounted hotel. There's a way to do that. So you can really, that's one way to kind of put the discounts on top of each other. So because they have also released some really good hotel discounts as well as free dining again. So free dining is back. So there's money to be saved for this summer. And there's going to be so much going on in the parks and at the resorts. They haven't announced specifics of everything just yet, but there's going to be scheduled character meet and greets at resorts, all the resorts this summer.
Wow.
They're going to have dance parties in every park, with characters. And these are all geared towards the kids. All these different activities that they have. They're going to have games with the characters. There's so much that's going to be happening. And it's exclusively for the summer. It's not going to be a year-round thing. So if you want to go this summer, now is definitely the time to plan a vacation for sure.
They also are going to be having both water parks open for the first time together
in 5 years.
Since I think 2019.
Yeah.
So yeah.
6 years, I guess. Yeah.
Yep. So Blizzard Beach and Typhoon Lagoon, you're going to have your choice versus having to pick one.
I was going to be really upset if it was an April Fool's joke because they announced it yesterday.
I know there was yesterday. You didn't want to believe anything that you heard,
You know?
And then I also saw yesterday, but this seems to be real, that it looks like they're piloting, possibly bringing back the airline check-in at the resorts. It's just being piloted right now, I believe, at Pop Century, and they're supposed to roll out some more from what I read. I did read a couple official sources where they didn't deny anything online, but it looks like it's piloting right now, which is great. My clients loved that, and I actually miss it too.
So I just came back from, for those who don't know, I just came back from Disneyland. I went to an agent education program, learned so many amazing things from the Disney team. One other thing that I don't know that they have officially sent out an email to announce it yet, but another thing they're piloting at specific resorts. So this is at Pop Century, Art of Animation, Caribbean Beach, and Wilderness Lodge for families with little ones. You can now get, similar to on Disney Cruise Line, you can get bottle warmers, bottle sterilizers, diaper genies, and infant-sized bathtubs.
Wow.
All complimentary to your hotel room.
That's huge. That's huge.
That as someone who's traveling with a baby, like, I'm kind of upset it's not a contemporary, and especially because I was at Wilderness Lodge and I moved. But that's for the future. This is going to be such a huge help for families with little ones that want to travel.
Yep. That's for sure true. For sure true. And I agree with you on summertime kind of being not like what it used to be. You know, a lot of families are. I'm down here right now, right? I'm down here doing the old person white pants stuff, and I've just noticed the last few years that spring break seems to be kind of like the new summer, even though it's spread out over a few weeks. It's pretty busy, pretty steady. Whereas that used to be what like June and July was. You know, and I think there's just a lot of people who are appreciating the nicer weather, so they're coming in spring now or fall, because Florida is hot. It is hot in the summertime. So this is why I think Disney's trying to bring everybody back. You know, there's some killer specials, really are.
Yeah,
the free dining,
and of course, momentsofmagictravel.com for all your needs for theme park. You name it, we book it. So. So the other news was starting May 27th, 2 shows are opening up at Hollywood Studios. The Little Mermaid, A Musical Adventure, and Disney Villains, Unfairly Ever After. I cannot wait. I'm actually going to Florida in July.
Great time.
And I'm really torn on this because I want to go to the theme parks, but I also know that it's hot as Hades there. So I'm really torn on that. But that being said, these do look like great reimagining for these shows at Hollywood Studios, which I don't want to say with all the construction that's going to be happening needs it, but they need something there. So
some of the construction starting on the Monsters Inc. coaster. I was just there the other day.
Yeah,
and you come down the ramp after you watch the Muppet Vision 3D show. You know, where you throw your glasses in the thing. You're coming down that ramp.
Yep.
And if you look to the right, there's the wall there. If you look over the wall, the steel structures are starting to go over the wall. So
great.
Nice.
It's starting, you know, it's starting.
That's great.
And I think if you want to ride, or if you want to not ride, experience Muppet Vision 3D, I think the last show is somewhere around the end of the first week of June, from what I remember.
Yeah, let me see if I can find that real quick while you guys.
And then I think Pizza Rizzo's is shutting down like after the first week of May. So it's all coming fast. I'm still crossing my fingers that Muppet Vision 3D shows up somewhere else.
June 7th, 2025 is the last day of operation for Muppet Vision 3D.
Still got a couple more.
It will be a sad day. You'll see every blogger under the sun or vlogger under the sun there. But
I think people aren't so upset because they're not completely losing the Muppets with it taking over Rock and Roller Coaster. So my husband surprisingly was very excited about that. He thinks it fits very well. So
And I still stand and think that you're going to see Muppet Vision 3D somewhere else. I don't know. This obviously a big part of it is that theater, all the interaction with it. So it's going to be a bigger project than just moving the movie, so much interaction. But hey, if anybody can do it, Disney can do it. I mean, remember when Lion King show at Animal Kingdom was back there by the character, where Pandora is. There used to be a character area, and that's back where the Lion King show was, And then they, shut that whole area down to start the construction.
Oh, you're right.
The Pandora world, and then they built a new arena in Africa, and you can't even tell the difference. Like identical. So they've already got a precedent where they've done that before.
Didn't even remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. Lion King used to be back there with the Camp Mini Mickey, I think it was called.
I miss Camp Mickey and Minnie.
But cool. Before we get started in our new thing too for the club, not the Club 33, but the Disney Vacation Club members, if any of you guys who are watching had joined with that new membership magic, I joined it earlier this year and got to experience a couple of the new perks. So at the DVC Lounge at Epcot from 6 to 9 p.m., I've done it 3 times now. They have special character meet and greets, and they're
nice.
They're rarity type character
good.
too. Like we got the Zootopia characters the other night. We did have one night where we got Mickey and some of his friends, but we had another night where there was some Encanto characters up there. So
cool.
The membership magic, if you guys are DVC members, it's $99 to add that for the year. You not only get those special character meet and greets at those DVC lounges, if you're staying on property on a DVC stay, you get pushed to the front of the line for the DVC lounge. So you go right to the front of the line, and then you're now able to buy your season passes with points if you want. So there's some distinct cool perks that you get for that new membership magic for any of our DVC members who are watching. So
sweet.
Cool.
So let's talk about Club 33.
Yeah.
Right. I'm ready.
So
I got my
Club
ears.
33. This man, she bought ears.
This is the only thing I bought.
Oh boy.
Club 33 years, and I actually bought a Club 33 polo.
I looked for you. They didn't have a polo. They had like a whatchamacallit. They had Spirit jerseys, and then they had like a pullover.
Okay.
And then that was like all that they had.
I bought a polo, and when I bought it, I usually wear an extra large because I'm a little bit bigger from working out, and I actually had to squeeze into the large because I wanted it anyways. So I only wear it on like special occasions. But my polo looks very similar to your ears. So
I wanted to buy a lot of other things, but I was good.
I know.
So Alyssa, you got to go to Club 33 at Disneyland. Talk about how this happened.
Well, even before, I think we should explain what Club 33 is.
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad.
So,
good point.
I'll just take the overall, and then we'll just spin it over to the OG Club 33, where Alyssa just was at Disneyland. So Club 33 is a special club that you normally are invited to join. You like in Disney World, because it's newer, and all the there's 4 different lounges at Disney World now. There's still only the original one, I believe, at Disneyland. You have to be invited to join, or you can kind of solicit to a certain degree, and hopefully they'll finally reply to you. That was kind of my case for Disney World, but it's a special club. There's an initiation fee, which we'll talk about a little bit later. There is a yearly membership fee as well. So there's a one-time join fee, and then there's a yearly membership fee that you have to pay every year that you're a member. But from that, you get so many perks, from basically a VIP fast pass for as many as you want. Like, I don't think it's unlimited, but I think it's like 35 or 40 a day. You get, and we'll talk about this more in depth, but you get free season passes for the family. They're called Premier Passes, so they work at Disney World and Disneyland.
Wow.
You get access to all the clubs, whether if it's a Disneyland membership at Disneyland or at Disney World. There's 4 different clubs at the 4 different parks at Disney World, and I've been in 3 of them. And then you get concierge service, and they kind of describe it as they solve for no. So you just call this concierge service and say, hey, I want to eat at Le Cellier right now at Epcot, and they would do everything they can to get you a seat right now. So it's kind of like having
Wow.
a private hotline. But here's the fun part, John. For family, extended family, you get 50 one-day park hopper passes for the parks for your family. You know, your cousins, your mom and dad, your people that don't on your membership. You get 50
Mhm.
passes to share every single year, as well as you get 5 VIP tours a year. 5 VIP tours a year. And Alyssa, you remember a few years back for conference when Leslie bought that one
That
for us?
that was the conference right before I started.
Oh man,
I know. I heard
Leslie
all
shout
about
out.
it.
Yeah, Leslie shout out. She got us a VIP, and that's just the way to go. But you get that. You get 5 of them a year to use.
Is there
There's
a limit on how many people you can have with you, or?
Just the same for a regular VIP, 10 people.
Oh, okay.
Yep, 10 people
So,
is what you can have for those. But yeah, those are like the highlighted perks that you get. There's little special things, obviously in the lounges they have food and things of that nature. But those are the perks. And we'll talk more about Disneyland right now. Alyssa is fresh off of a Anaheim trip, so she'll kind of tell you about her
yeah.
experience with there. And then I'll tell you about my experience with Club 33 at Disney World and at Club 33 in Shanghai.
Mm,
Shanghai Disneyland in China. So,
nice.
Alyssa, handing it over to you. Tell us about Anaheim.
Yes.
Yeah. So essentially, some months ago, I got a message. Hey, would you guys be interested in going to Club 33? And I was like, this is a joke, right?
Yeah,
So,
there's your invite.
yeah, that was my invite. So, since I was at this agent education program, one of the agents that I was with knows a member, and that member was able to get us a reservation. So the only way you can enter Club 33 is if you are with or invited by a member. And there's 2 sections at the one at Disneyland. I don't know how the other ones work, but so there's the main lobby that has then a courtyard, which John can upload some of these pictures of this courtyard. It's kind of small, but then it's got this like grand staircase that goes up. And then once you go in there, there's to the left, there is the members only lounge. We couldn't go in there because the member was not with us. But that's where they really just have like drinks. I think they can get apps in there too. And there's like a wine cellar down that way. So, but again, the member
Mhm.
has to be there. They can escort other people in with them. And then to the right side is where like the restaurant is. It was a little smaller than I expected. I want to say maybe max. There was like a dozen tables. So, but the restaurant is where we could go. So we got a reservation. We didn't find out until about 3 weeks before that we officially did get the reservation, what day and time it was. But when they came in, so there's it's kind of like it blends in. It's a door like in New Orleans Square in Disneyland,
Mhm.
kind of to the side and behind Pirates of the Caribbean, that you can easily walk by that you don't know is there. But
Yep.
there's a doorbell that says 33 on it. And so again, that's kind of how you know where the location is. And when you ring, someone comes up, you have to give a name and a reservation. Or we were kind of sitting there for a little while until it was our time. And like they know the members. They were like greeting them by name, like greeting them like they had known them forever. So
Yep.
I think that was kind of cool. Um, and then when we were there, it's I guess the Indiana Jones like anniversary, 30th anniversary, I think they said. And so they had a lot of Indiana Jones themed things. So there was member exclusive merch you could get. So none of us could get it, but they had the whole like balcony area was all themed to Indiana Jones. They had music playing in the lobby that was Indiana Jones, so that was all kind of cool. And apparently they do this a lot. So they just had a Haunted Mansion one not too long ago. There's stained glass like in the main area that's original from like when Walt created the club. So
Dang.
because Walt created Club 33 basically for like business meetings, VIPs, other things to like go and have a meeting at Disneyland without like craziness and crowds and everything. So there's a lot kind of themed off of that stained glass. So we got invited, got to go in. Again, it's super exclusive. it just like makes you feel special and like a VIP yourself. And when we got in, they treated us very nicely, not like we were just some schmucks off the beaten
Some
path.
riffy raff.
Yeah. So that
That's
was
that's one of the cool things about the Club 33. Whether you're a member or invited in, you get treated with the same amount of respect as if you're a
yeah.
member or not.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's because they have your name now, Alyssa. They have all the information. You most assuredly are going to get an email and invite at some point in the future inviting you to learn about joining yourself. That's how this thing works.
Yeah. Makes
How it works.
sense.
So, because I've gotten, like I said, I've gotten invited for similarly connected to the one at Disney World, and then because of our access that we got as part of our Adventures by Disney China trip, I've been invited to join the Shanghai one. I don't know why I would join a China one,
Right.
but that's just the way those work. So
Yeah. Well, I told myself this was going to probably be a once in a lifetime experience. I will
yes.
probably never have enough to join as a member, and that is okay. So, because I would never in a million years spend pretty much almost $200 on a meal,
Yeah.
but I did that day.
And
So,
I think this is a good segue into, before I talk about Disney World, what does it cost to become a member of Club 33? Because there's going to be people that pop in with the comments if we don't ask it. So there's an initiation fee, and I know that Disneyland is somewhere as low as $25,000 and can climb from there. It's a one-time initiation fee. I've heard rumors of upwards of 50,000, depending on I think there's different levels in Anaheim, just because it's only the one club, right?
I heard upwards of 80,000.
And that, you know what, that's the mystery behind this thing. It could be
Yeah.
true, but I know it starts off, in the 25s and goes high as 75, 80,000 at Disneyland. Disney World is more definitive. I know it because this is what they offered me to join, and other people have went online saying this is what it costs them. It's about $33,000 to join at Disney World, and that's a one-time only initiation fee. You'll never have that again. But then, like at Disneyland and Disney World, very similarly, it's around $15,000 a year membership fee every year to get all those perks that we talked about. So, for the cost of a used car every single year, you get to have those perks, which is, access to the club at Disneyland or the 4 clubs at Disney World. We'll talk about in a second. You get those VIP tours, you get those premier passes for you and your family, you get the access to the private concierge service, those 51-day park hopper for your extended family, and then the limited number of fast passes every single day. And I did Google it. It's somewhere around 30 to 35 fast passes a day. And I don't know that I've ever used that much in my life. I think the most I've ever used is like 15. So
Yeah.
So let me tell you. So we were staying at the Grand Californian on the 3rd floor, and when we were walking to our room, there was a desk on the main, like, it's not like a lobby, but like the main floor of the 3rd floor that had that 33 symbol, and we're like, what is that? Well, one of the agents stopped by and said, we're just curious what you do here. And she says it's the concierge table for Club 33 guests. They come up here, they have their membership card, they scan it, it pulls up their whole profile, and then that's how they get all their fast passes for the day. If they need any of their tickets for the day, like if they want any of the dining, fill it all right there. And so that's all they have. So when I was walking past one day, I saw a man come up with a card and did it, and a little ding happened. And it was funny because like he was just like dressed like a normal person, and I was like, I wonder what you do for a living to be able to be a member. But like that, I got to see it like in action, and like to see like, oh, what are you here for today? Like, what can I help you with? And that was kind of cool. So, but they have a desk, they have a specific person that can do it for them.
And I bet you when you saw that thing ding, you had extreme FOMO. You're like, oh my God, I want it. I want it. I want it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's how I felt.
But
Yeah,
if you price out all of the things that you get with that membership,
Mhm.
it is more than worth it if you have that kind of money. Like
and time.
Two VIP tours in itself would cover the annual fee.
Yep.
Like let alone all the other things that you get. So
Yep. It's definitely worth it. And me and my wife highly considered it, but it was just before the season. This was back in 2019. this was right back in the season of both of my kids starting college.
Yeah.
So it was either like college or Disney. I don't think I'd have been. I don't think I'd have been a good
So,
parent, right? So
Jeff, I'm going to sell you on this because
yeah,
your son's about to graduate college, right? So, I mean, Adventures by Disney, Club 33, like you're going to do some revenge traveling here, my
don't get me
friend. And
wrong. Yes, you are right. My son is graduating in May, and it's crossed my mind because I think once you get the invite, I can always reply to the email saying, "Hey, I'm considering now," but I'm still not.
yeah,
I'm still financially recovering from something else that happened in our life. So maybe
yeah,
in time, because what I learned about Club 33 and read online is, some of these people, like maybe the one you encountered at Grand Californian who scanned his badge, you wondered what they did for a living. Let's say they do something similar to what we do. It becomes a tax write-off to a certain degree. If you can write off some of these fees if you're using them for business.
True.
And
hmm
what better way to entertain a client than take them into Club 33, or take one of your traveling families that we all go with that we happen to be down here and really impress them and take them up to the lounge for. So you can write this off, if you're using it for business. So this is something I might do in the future. I don't know, because we're entering a stage of our life now where our kids are done. So who knows what's going to happen? I may decide to do it,
yeah.
and you guys can come in with me.
Heck
I
yes,
mean,
Jeff, I'm coming.
listen,
And this is my
listen,
invitation
like,
right now, and I'm
Yep,
holding you to it.
yep.
uh,
If I join, I will most certainly take you guys in. But
Thanks.
at Disney World, it's a little bit it's a little bit bigger. Obviously, Disney World is just bigger than Disneyland. That doesn't mean it's better. I have traveling families that insist on going to Disneyland and Disney World. It's just different. So at Disney World, they actually have 4 Club 33 lounges. I've been in
wow.
one of them, and I've seen pictures of the other 3, online. And actually, I was sent a couple of renderings when I was considering it. They all 4 weren't built yet. They were
Oh,
still building.
Mhm.
I was going to tell you that when you do go to Club 33, they have a very strict no video policy.
Yep,
You are
yep,
not allowed to take videos anywhere inside the club whatsoever. You could only take still photographs, and they ask to make sure that no one other than the people in your party are in a photograph, like not even the back of a head of someone else.
yep,
And you could
Wow.
not take any pictures in the bathroom. It was very specific that you couldn't do that either.
yep.
Sorry, I
That's
What
didn't
why
mean to
in the
interrupt you.
bathroom that there's like are like gold toilets? Like what's going on there?
I
Like,
wondered. It was a nice bathroom. I don't know. It was nothing. I
Well,
don't know.
the one in China had a bidet in it,
Oh.
so I'll tell you that. But John, that's why those 3 pictures I sent you, those were scrubbed by them. She's right. Those are scrubbed. They wanted to make sure that they did allow us to take them, but no video. She's right.
Hmm.
Um,
yeah.
which is why I've only seen the renderings in some of the lounges I didn't get to go in. The only one that I got to go in was the Harambe House at Animal
Mm.
Kingdom, which is
hmm
very nice. For those of you that don't know where it's at, there's like a back entrance into Africa, from Pandora, that
Yeah.
you wouldn't even know that's there. And as soon as you come around the corner,
Oh.
as soon as you come around the water, right there's like a popcorn cart and a bathroom right there. And
Ah,
right to your left, there's a white building with the Club 33 logo. That's where it's at
cool.
Animal Kingdom. At Magic
Dang. All right.
Yep. Magic Kingdom's a lot easier to find as soon as you go into Adventureland, where Pirates is and the Jungle Cruise.
hmm
As soon as you go through that big arch that says Adventureland, look to your right. You'll see a little door that says Club 33.
Hmm.
So
hmm
that is where Magic Kingdom's at. Hollywood Studios, where Hollywood Brown Derby is. It's got that
Hmm.
main
hmm
door. As soon as you go in the main door, if you go off to the left, there's bathrooms. Well, there's an elevator right there with the Club 33 logo.
Oh,
So
inside the brown, like that
inside
main
the Brown
lodge.
Derby. Yep.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
it's
Nice.
kind of like where the bathroom area is of the
Yeah.
Brown Derby. There's
Hmm.
an elevator with the Club 33 logo. So that's where Hollywood Studios is. And then at Epcot, it is in the America Adventure.
I did
Uh,
know that one.
yep,
Yeah.
the America Adventure Pavilion. It actually is the old former Disney Chase Visa Lounge that
Oh yeah.
they actually gutted that and redid it to be Club 33 standards. So that's where the 4
Nice.
clubs are at Disney World. And Alyssa eloquently described exactly what's in those clubs. There's like a lounge for some drinks, and then they have like the restaurant, like the lounge areas, like where you can get some drinks and some apps. Then they have like their little mini restaurant and stuff. And they're
Mm.
designed to be small because Club 33 is small. Not a lot of
Mhm.
people spending that kind of money. So it's not like they ever have that many members in the park at one time. They don't need a huge restaurant. So
Yeah.
Club 33, it's it's something that I aspire to have at some point. But this is the part that I think we can get some interaction on. What would qualify it for you to do it? For me, I would have to live at least part-time, part year in the state to be able to
Yeah.
take advantage of this. I agree with Alyssa 1000%. Those 2 VIP tours in itself would pay for your yearly membership. Maybe not your initial membership, which is kind of a big chunk of change, but you also get those premier passes. 50 tickets. If you take 50 tickets, you times it by even
150 or
150 bucks.
almost 200. Yeah.
Which is what they're charging like now. I mean, you think about it. That
So,
that's
if
a
you take those
significant
50
chunk of
tickets,
change.
that's almost worth it right there, in itself for your yearly membership. So it is definitely worth it, but it's not worth it if you're going to have all these perks going to waste because you're living in Michigan or you're living in Pennsylvania or you're living in New York like John. It wouldn't make sense to be living so far away and have this unless you were me or and you could just write that off every year. So for me, I have to be at least here part-time of the year to really be able to take advantage of it. That's my requirement. And that's what I think a lot of members need to, or people considering it need to look at. Don't just do it for the I don't know, what do you want to call it? The status, if you want to call it that. Don't just do it for the status because that's a lot of money to spend just to say you are a Club 33 member. So I mean, you were in there, Alyssa, you got to experience it. If you were to join, don't you think you'd have to be somewhat local?
Oh, yes. Especially because like even just the meal itself took 2 hours. So like it's not going to be something for like my one time a year trip that I want to carve out 2 hours. This was like my once in a lifetime thing. So it didn't matter to me that I did that because I was like, I'll probably be back to Disneyland again at some point. But like if I'm not going to carve out that time. I don't know. Unless I am there frequently, or I probably like if I'm a member, I'd probably go to the lounge a bunch. I'm not going to want to spend $200 on a meal every time that I go. That might be just like on a special occasion or something.
Absolutely. And there's obviously things have changed over the years with some of the clubs going away, but there used to be other ways to experience some of the Club 33 perks with other ways at Disney World. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing close to Club 33 giving you all these perks. But like with DVC, for instance, you can get now with this membership magic, you can use some of your points and purchase your season passes. I guess that's somewhat close to having a Premier Pass. Premier Pass is a pass at Disney that works in Florida and in California. So that's one cool thing Club 33 gets. But there's other ways to feel some of that, but you're never going to be able to have all the perks that Club 33 has. It's definitely a club that you would definitely be considered a Disney nerd or Disney freak to really want to join. And that definitely is me on the resume, But and they're not just in Disneyland and Disney World. I actually got to go to the one at Shanghai Disney. I guess I don't know for a fact if there's one in Hong Kong. I don't know if there's one in Paris. I would assume that there is. Why would there not be? But the one in Shanghai was amazing. And I was talking a little bit about it with John at the start before he joined Alyssa. But we had it as part of our Adventures by Disney China trip. Our what they call the farewell dinner and the last night we experienced at Shanghai Disney Park, and they took us up there for dinner at Club 33 and allowed us to enjoy the whole evening there and purchase product from the Club 33, which is how I got my polo. And then we got to stay there for the fireworks.
So according to Wikipedia, consider it loosely sourced. Club 33 is at Tokyo Disneyland, Shanghai, which we talked about, and then Magic Kingdom and Disneyland proper.
Okay.
So
Hong Kong and Paris does not have one.
Nope.
At least not right now. Maybe the demand for it is not there, which is funny to me that Paris doesn't have one. Because
I feel like Paris would.
Because the 2-hour the 2-hour Disney or the 2-hour dinner you just described is a total European thing.
It's totally a France thing.
It's totally a France thing because Adventures by Disney France, every damn meal that we had was like 2.5, 3 hours. I'm like, come on, I want to do something, you know.
Come on, I want
And
to
the locals are like, relax, relax. You
Maybe
know?
Club 33 would be like a 5-hour meal in France.
Oh boy.
Exactly, right? Just plan to take a nap. There'll be a bed there for you.
Yeah.
But Club 33,
So how was the food? Like that's what I like it.
When I tell you that you want it to be this way, and so I'm not just saying this because I wanted it to be this way. This was probably the best meal I've ever eaten, like ever. It picture wise, it doesn't look like the best meal you would ever get, but taste wise, oh
Yeah.
my goodness, the flavoring and the way they cooked it. Like, so I got one of the specials for my entree, which was a swordfish in a lobster bisque, and I'm not even a fish person. But this was one of the most amazing things I've ever eaten. And then it was me and another girl got that, and then yep, there it is.
See, it doesn't look quite as
picture
well,
wise, it's like but oh my gosh, was it delicious.
John,
And then I don't have a picture of it, but the other 3 girls got like a fillet, and they said it was the best cooked filet mignon they've ever had.
Yeah, John, you're your steak guy. I know it. You know.
Yeah.
I had a filet mignon in Shanghai, and the way I describe it is like one of my favorite filet mignons is Le Cellier. I just love the way they cook theirs and everything. And I take that and I like times it by 10 in taste. So take your favorite filet from what you like, Yachtsman.
Yeah.
And just
So that I'm a
imagine
ribeye guy from Yachtsman. That's like my go-to. So
it was amazing. It definitely was amazing.
I don't know what they do with whatever spices or sauces or I don't know, but it was you know when Remy and Ratatouille is like having all the colors that bounce off his head from the flavors? That's what was happening to me in Club 33. So that's a perfect image of how I was feeling while I was eating that meal.
Yeah, it's like sharing a meal with you on the Disney Wish. I could definitely see that because that's just how you are.
I mean, that's true.
Man.
But this was way above the Wish, even.
Yeah, like, and that says a lot because the food on the Wish was really, really good.
It was excellent.
Man, you know, Jeff, I'm gonna go hard for you to get a Club 33 membership then, because, like, listen, I will buy you the meal. Just get me in, like, one time, like. So
and there are some other perks that we didn't mention. I know they get valet parking at some, and they get premier parking, and I believe they have access to complimentary strollers and wheelchairs. One of the things that some families may not like is there is a dress code to be in there. You probably experienced it, Alyssa. It's not like you have to have a shirt or a suit and tie on, you know, but they call it resort casual. Like they don't want any swimsuits or no beach wear or flip flops in there. So there is like I'm going to call it a Victorian Alberts type, mentality to the whole thing. You know, you want to be. It's a night out. It's a dressed up type situation. They don't want
there were people more, I think they were, this is just an observation, I think they were a little more lenient on people who were actually members who maybe were enjoying the park in their normal regular park attire, like leggings and a t-shirt and ears and stuff, and who came in. But it, like, we all wore dresses, we all kind of dressed to the nines because we felt like it was more of a Victorian Alberts kind of level. But that we did see other people who they weren't dressed, like they didn't go against the dress code necessarily of what they said, but they didn't dress like it was a really nice meal. But we're pretty certain they were all members based on the way they were interacting.
And from what I
understand, go ahead, Jeff.
I was going to say, from what I understand too, like what you just described was perfectly stated as like the people that were in park wear because they were stopping in. They're probably going more to the lounge for the drink and the appetizers, whereas Alyssa was dressed up in her beautiful dress because she was there to have dinner. You know? So probably those two types of people dressed are probably going 2 different ways.
Could be.
You know,
I will say I was kind of dismayed the first time, and this is by no means Club 33 level, but I remember going to California Grill for the first time and seeing people just dressed in like schlubby clothes. I'm like, where's the standard here? Like, come on. Like, you're at one of the nicest restaurants on property and you're wearing, like, you know, I don't know, Ron John surf shop stuff. Like, come on, be better.
Yeah.
I will tell you, we were super curious if there would be anyone that we recognize, whether like a top Disney exec, like maybe Bob Iger, or a celebrity or something like that. And I'm not going to name any names, but we asked someone there was there anyone planning to be there, anyone there recently? And she said, by a day, we missed Jeff Goldblum. He was there. It's like,
Very
Man.
dang it.
When did you come back?
4 days ago.
Okay, because I saw 2 days ago. Johnny Depp was up doing his.
Shut up.
No, I just saw it on a blog that he was there 2 days ago, dressed up as Jack Sparrow again. So hey, I just missed like one of my idols from Ted Lasso. I was actually in the park the same day that Jason Sudeikis was at Magic Kingdom. And
Dang.
what really irks me is I had a Ted Lasso shirt on too. And I didn't know until I had left and we were at Epcot for a concert. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that he was there until I started seeing pictures popping up in some of the Facebook pages. I'm like, damn it, I want to go back and look for him now. And then I missed him by a day. He was at Hollywood Studios a couple days ago, and I missed him by a day. He was there with. I saw some pictures of him posing with Grogu. So
cool.
And the Mandalorian. So yeah, I would have loved to seen Jason, but you know what?
Oh well.
They didn't tell us they were coming, so they didn't want us to know. So.
Right. Yeah, would have loved to have seen Jeff. Man, if I had seen Jeff Goldblum and Club 33, I don't know what I would have done.
He would be fun to hang with. He would be awesome. He would be awesome to hang with, man.
That's what I would think too.
You know, I've seen some videos of him up on the big board like at a game, and he's all posing and stuff, and you know, it doesn't look disgusted like some other celebrities do. He'd be fun to hang with.
Yeah.
I think one day when I was at Magic Kingdom a couple years ago, I know Adele was there.
Oh, that's fun.
But yeah, like
she could walk up to me, I wouldn't even know her.
Really?
I like her music, but I have no idea what she looks like.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
You know, I have to look her up now. But anyways, yeah, Club 33. That's what it's all about. Most of you who are watching may have never even heard of it. Now you're going to Google it and check it out and look for those little 33 logos on the doors that we talked about.
My husband had never heard of it. And so when I was looking at all the merch options, I was like, ooh, he might like that hat. And I was like, he's not going to care. I'm not going to spend $40 on a hat for him that he doesn't know the significance of. So I loved it, but I didn't get him the hat.
That was the one thing I wanted was the hat.
Oh, sorry. I could have gotten you the hat.
No big deal. I got the polo, you know. There's a number of services out there. You can buy a Club 33 hat on what is that? What's the one on Etsy and stuff like that. Some of them make them, but yeah, Club 33 maybe in the future. But it's definitely you know, don't be scared away by the price because it's definitely worth it if you can utilize it and you have that money. You have that kind of money to spend each year. The initiation fee I think is what scares a lot of people away. You know that. Because in addition to your initiation fee, you also have your first year membership fee. That first year is pretty cough. After that, you know, $15,000 a year. You know, it's a little over $1,000 a month, right? About $1,200 a month or something like that to be a member. And you know what? You have to decide for yourself if it's worth it. I know for me, if I get in the area and I have the money, I'm going to do it. But I got to be living here more than just 3 months a year like I'm doing right now to take advantage of it. And I'm getting to the stage of my life where that might be happening soon. So,
woohoo!
Yeah. So, all right, we got 45 minutes. I told you we could fill it up, man. I knew we would.
Yeah.
33.
So, this is
what's next,
this is gonna be fun.
We have a big one coming up, right?
Oh yeah, it's our third annual
fourth
attraction draft. So, is there a fourth?
Because we had it year one, and then
we did. Okay, yeah, our fourth annual attraction draft. So we're gonna have a bunch of agents on. We're gonna just do it up, have fun. It'll be good. It'll be tense. It's always tense.
We should decide if maybe we're gonna include some of the future attractions that might be open within the next year or two. That might be fun.
And new this year, there will be a trophy to the winner.
How do you win?
Well, I mean, we're going to have to get engagement and telling us who had the perfect day at Disney. So, I mean, yeah, and it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna work on the rules.
Can I throw a curveball in there this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we draft on top of it all a deluxe resort?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yes.
We'll have to add that in there, deluxe resort.
We're gonna draft your perfect vacation.
Yeah.
It's funny because our
So
perfect
it'll be
vacations are all going to be different, man. Like me,
Right. But
I could literally ride nothing at Epcot, just like be drunk and drinking around the country and go see Impressions of France and stumble back to a boardwalk, and that'd be my perfect day, and nobody would vote for it. You know?
there are some people in a certain Facebook group that would vote for.
Yeah, right. Just like 15 years ago, it'd be all power rides, but now it's just like, man, give me a drink, and let me
Right.
stumble around World Showcase and watch a concert.
me like 6 limoncello margaritas from Italy, and like just let me like.
I have to share with you guys the most bizarre feeling I've ever had at Disney Park was the other night. I went to see Queensryche at Epcot. And this is the first time in all the years that I've been going. Chris Daughtry might have been the closest, but Queensryche definitely is a hair metal band. Okay.
Yeah.
Like they are hard. And it was so bizarre hearing like a metal band with the people up on stage banging their head at Disney. I was like, man, where am I at? This is like Bizarro World, you know?
Cool.
But it was a cool vibe. I mean, the crowd, I got up and looked around, and the crowd was full of metalheads, you know? And I didn't realize that so many metalheads love Disney, but these are people that had Magic Bands on too. They had Magic Bands on and their Queensryche shirt. So you know they're regular members, but they were just jamming and
Bizarro World, man. Bob Iger's pulling out all the stops.
yeah, I mean, it was weird. It was really weird because, you know,
Love you, Bob.
90% of the people were probably in their 60s or 70s, so they weren't like really jamming, but they were up moving, man. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Did they have canes? That's what I want to know. Like,
yeah, canes, and some of them stood up in their wheelchairs, and you know,
yeah.
but it was still just a really cool vibe to see a hair band, metal band, you know, really playing some speed metal at Epcot. So
nice.
Yeah, check out my wall. You'll see some of it.
Alrighty.
All right.
Well,
2 weeks from now.
That's gonna do it, man. You're beginning of. Well, wait, no, it's this whole like. I know we're on year 3, so like, congratulations, Alyssa. I couldn't have done it without you. Shout out to Johnny, who was with us for like the first 10 episodes. We appreciate you. And again, thanks to Leslie for humoring me in this venture. So it'll be great.
Thanks for including me in it. Thanks for
being
including me.
Absolutely.
Jen,
We do have to plan a trip together. Just saying, like, you know.
I'm also waiting for if we can talk about this later, but I have this idea that if we can get some conference dates, we should do Epic Universe together. We should do a 1-day ticket, Epic Universe, and go experience that together.
Yep.
And then whatever conference is.
So our next podcast with the draft is what? Are we going to go back to Tuesday the 15th?
Yeah, we're going to do Tuesday the 15th. So.
All right, y'all keep watching.
I'm going to start work. So get ready. The attraction draft is coming. So that's going to do it for us. For Alyssa, for Jeff, I'm John. We'll see you next time. Have a great one.